Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I hope you can all hear me. You can hear me good. First of all, my name is Abdul Ali. I am a proud son of Father Sheikh Usman, Father Teacher Sun. I am a mommy's boy, so that's a declaration. How am I feeling is the first thing that came into my mind when I came to the stage. How am I feeling? I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling nervous, and I'm also excited. I am feeling, not in that order, but I'm feeling nervous because I'm speaking in front of people that I don't know, but I'll get to know, hopefully. But I'm also feeling sad that at the age of 46 that I cannot, South Africa, Somali, so I feel sad about that. But it's the truth. So if you're pressuring your kids, you've got a 46-year-old that cannot communicate in Somali the same way that I can in English. I'm excited because we are gathered here today on a topic that is very personal to me. It was never my profession, but a topic that I'm quite passionate about because mental health affects us individually, affects our immediate family, and it affects the community, and you know what? The world at large. And I want to thank all of you for taking the time to be with us on your Saturday. I want to thank the panelists who are going to be joining us and sharing their expertise. But I also want to thank Dahabshiil for taking the lead on this, because I don't know any other Somali organization that could have amplified this cause, this topic, than Dahabshiil, because we don't have Somali airline. If we do, somebody remind me where it is. But Dahabshiil is a landmark. Or most of us have traveled around the world, I'm sure. And Dahabshiil not only a money transfer, but Dahabshiil has become a landmark. If you want to see where Somalis are, find the nearest Dahabshiil. So it's not just a money transfer. And for me, I heard about this again through wonderful Saad, who's behind the tent and who's behind this concept, back in early February. And I was like, I want to jump in this because Dahabshiil is a destination, is a landmark. You know, Somalia. So for them to even take this as a topic, it's something that I want to say thank you for letting us talk about this, and thank you for taking this as an initiative. So congratulations, and well done to Dahabshiil. I know I'm not a brand ambassador for Dahabshiil, but I really wanted to say that, yeah? Okay, with all of that said, I really want to start introducing our panelists, and you've got to bear with me while I try to work out the order in which people are coming on. I want to invite the stage to Awale from Rise Project. I met Awale, he's right in front of me. Hi, Awale. I want to also introduce a lady by the name of Anna Abdul Khadir, who happens to have my name. And she's the catalyst for Center of Excellence. And I haven't introduced what I do and who I am, but I'm the founder of Center of Excellence, a community organization, as I said, that's based in North London. I also want to invite, I want to invite Ayan Sheikh. Ayan Sheikh Noor. Sorry, I'm trying. I did say I was nervous. So today, really, my intention is that I get to learn more about mental health, a lot more than I thought I knew, that I get to connect with people that I don't know, a lot more than I came with, and also to walk away knowing that I can be of support, of help, and service to others. Whatever your intention is, I really ask you guys to join us, to engage, to ask questions, and just be present, and more importantly, be yourself. And with that, I want to welcome our panelists. All right, are you all mic'd up, guys? Yeah, testing. We got the mic? Yeah? Okay. I want to start with you, on my right. Please introduce yourself, your organization, and what brings you here today.
My name is Anna. I'm the founder of an organization called Heal Together. We've started the organization in 2020, realizing that there is a need for an organization that amplifies the mental health in the Somali community, and actually not just the mental health, but the access to healthcare in general. So that was our core, and still is. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Anna. Sorry, I mispronounced your name earlier. Forgive me. Please introduce yourself and why are you here? What brings you here today as well?
I'm a second year medical student at King's, and I'm also the president of the King's College London Somali Society. So I think currently we're the only society that's sponsored by Dahabshiil. So alhamdulillah, it's been going really well, and I think I'm here to kind of represent the Somali youth and kind of be a representative for them.
Awale, please introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. So I'm Awale. I represent an organisation in the West Projects based in Harrogate. We work across North London. And I'm here today because I'm invited by our diocese and staff. We have a good relationship with Dahabshiil, and that's why I'm here today. Also to talk about the issue that's there.
Amazing. Thank you so much, all of you. I have so many questions, but then again, it is not about me, it's about everybody else here. So please, anybody that's got a question, please do raise your hand, and we're happy to take your question for the panel. Anybody? Brave enough to ask a question? Yes, please, go ahead. Do I give you a mic? Yeah?
Assalamualaikum. Thank you so much for organizing this event. I wanted to ask a question to Ayan. Inshallah, I'm so glad to hear she's a medical student at King's College. Welcome to the profession, Ayan. We need a lot more Somali representation, of course, in the field in general and mental health. So my question to Ayan would be, when it comes to the youth, what are some of the issues when it comes to mental health that you've noticed, particularly in the youth of your age group and students in the university?
So currently, in part of my placement in the last academic year, they put me in a GP in Acton, so a large majority of the patients are from Somali backgrounds. And one thing I noticed was that majority of the 18-year-old to 25-year-olds, significant amounts of them were coming in due to mental health problems. And I remember one case which was really bad, he was a boy around my age, and he tried to end his life by sitting in a motorway. And alhamdulillah, now he's fine, he's doing really well for himself. But it kind of just shows you, like, how are people that look like me, that sound like me, we talk the same language, how are they getting to this stage, you know what I mean? So I think that was definitely a turning point for me in terms of the youth. But in general, I was really, prior to coming here, I was reading a study and it was talking about how it was conducted in Minnesota in 2018, and it was talking about how young Somali youth, they have similar rates of depressive symptoms as their white peers, but they have lower rates of self-harm and lower rates of suicide, which is good, alhamdulillah. But nonetheless, it's still concerning that these figures still exist, and I think it's important because the generation we live in is different. Like, we're facing new challenges. Parents and children are growing up under the same roof, but they have two different cultures, and they have two different mindsets. And I think it's important that we kind of take the time to educate ourselves on these problems. Like the same way that when you go to certain jobs or schools, you have first aid training. I think it's important that we kind of take a step back and educate ourselves on the red flags for like depression, anxiety, just some common mental health disorders, as well as understanding what we can do for like crises as well. I think it's important because if one of us wins, all of us wins.
Does that answer your question? Yeah. Thank you so much, Ian. I've got so much to say about that, but really, thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for representing the youth. All right. Anybody has any question for our panelists? Yeah? Yeah?
Question.
There's Mike there.
I want to ask this question to Ayan. How do you feel parents and their youth and their kids can better connect? So have a better understanding, basically. What do you think that bridge should be? Well, that's to all of you, actually, whoever wants to answer.
Do you want to go?
Yeah, definitely. So we work with a lot of young people as well as their mothers. And what we're doing is actually educating the mothers first to actually be mindful of the symptoms that their children can face, like sleep, and sort of where it begins, loss of food, they who just don't want to be social. All of these things are signs. We just don't call them, what they are. Mums and dads in the Somali community don't know what anxiety is. Let's be honest about it, or depression or anything else. So just showing them that those signs can be, bigger things can be behind that. And then what we do is actually welcome the youth, and we actually just facilitate an intergenerational chat. And that can mean having programs like what we do, Shan Shekel. And that programs actually enable the young generation and the mothers to actually just have and sit down and chat. And that is a way of engaging community and mums and dads, and just to sort of have a conversation. But I think it's not what we can do, it's actually how we can reach out to the community and how can we open up those conversations. Like today, just let's begin with an acknowledgement that mental health is not going to go away. We live in a society where there is young people that have a lot of pressures on them, and just how can we open up the communication? That's it.
Thank you so much. Can I ask Awale to build on that, because I think it's a very important topic.
Sure.
And it would be good
So
to
the work that we do in Rights Projects really is to engage the young people. We also work closely with parents as well. So in terms of engaging young men who are more at risk of serious youth violence, who are more likely to be unemployed and also underemployed, we run a range of activities for them. So we run youth clubs, we run career development workshops. In terms of bridging the gap between young people and parents, there's obviously, as the other fellow panelists have said, there's a clear intergenerational issue, a massive gap. Obviously, in some homes, multiple languages are spoken. The parents are speaking Somali, the young people are speaking English, also other European languages as well. So of course there's that miscommunication all the time. So this kind of impacts on the young person's life outcome. So for example, in leads to school exclusions, you find that the child who's actually in trouble is translated on behalf of the parents. And that skews the dynamic between the young person and the parents. And it's quite difficult to know who the parent is or who the child is at some stages. But I think what's really important is, I don't know, the community has definitely come a long way. It's not like how it was in the 90s where there were clear issues in terms of all the issues that faces the community. There are provisions available. There's a lot of support. There's a number of Somali community organizations who are really at the forefront of supporting young people and parents. But also I think we need to develop a better relationship with statutory services, whether it's schools or the NHS or all the other kind of services out there. And I think going forward, what would really be important for our community is really to address the issues that are going on in the homes internally before we sort of take them out into the public sphere. So there's a lot to do, of course, but I think what's really important is just, as you've said, just to touch on some of the few things. But this is a topic that really requires a much more in-depth discussion, and we really can't really, I'm not so cool, 5 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Awale. Thank you, Aya. Thank you, Anna. I just want to build on what you guys have said. We're a very young organization that just now recently set up, so we can learn a great deal from you guys. And it's funny, we speak in the same language because Ali, I should have seen Eddie, we've got the same in mind. So the stories are the same, but it just happened in different times and different zones. But what's really interesting about the gap between the parents and the children is, regardless of how much of your story you want to tell the parents, or the parents want to tell the children, turn the Wi-Fi on and just see what the value position of that kid is. In comparison, you say, my journey was X, Y, Z. The generation now turn the Wi-Fi. But I think I want to thank you, and I think there's a great deal that we can learn from, and a lot we can discuss, and we can take this offline. If anybody's got any questions, we've got one of my colleagues who can take down your questions. And I want to thank you guys for listening in and asking your questions.